Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Jenny here, excited as always to dive into the latest in tech, especially when it touches on something as central as cybersecurity.
And Mark here, ready to nerd out. Because today, Jenny, we're discussing something quite remarkable. An AI security assistant named Cipher, recently launched by Arctic Wolf. This system processes over 8 trillion security events a week.
8 trillion. Just let that settle for a moment. That's a figure that's almost hard to grasp. This isn't your typical antivirus software, is it?
No, it is not. Arctic Wolf, recognized for their Aurora platform, has collaborated with Anthropic, yes, the folks behind the Claude AI models, to create something that feels like it's from a science fiction story. It's called Cipher, and it's part of their Alpha AI portfolio.
So Alpha AI, that sounds like the kind of name you give to a highly intelligent system. What exactly is Alpha AI, and how does it fit into this Cipher concept?
Good question. Alpha AI is essentially Arctic Wolf's entire collection of AI technologies designed to provide what they term SOC intelligence. Consider it the brain of the operation. And Cipher is the new user interactive component of that brain. It's a generative AI assistant, meaning it can understand natural language and give you actual answers, not just data points.
Okay, so a conversational AI for cybersecurity. That's a significant advancement. So instead of a security analyst sifting through dashboards and logs for hours, they just ask Cipher a question?
Precisely. The aim is to provide instant answers, contextual information, and usable summaries. So if there's an unusual anomaly, an analyst could ask, "Hey Cipher, what's happening with this IP address?" And Cipher, drawing from that vast 8 trillion event data lake on the Aurora platform, can inform them. This IP address has been seen doing X, Y, and Z, which is uncommon for this network. And here are the 3 most probable explanations and what you should do about it.
Wow. That's a significant step for efficiency. I can hear the relief from understaffed security teams already because, let's be honest, the cybersecurity world faces a substantial talent shortage. Is that a primary problem Cipher aims to address?
Indeed. It tackles those staffing and skill gaps directly. Dan Schiappa, the president at Arctic Wolf, referred to it as a defining moment because it largely democratizes access to expert-level security insights. You don't need a 20-year veteran for every incident. Cipher can offer immediate context, enabling even newer analysts to investigate faster, prioritize more effectively, and respond with greater assurance.
So it's not replacing humans, it's enhancing them. A co-pilot, if you will. But Mark, we need to discuss the how. How does it go from 8 trillion events to a concise, usable answer? What's the underlying mechanism?
The underlying mechanism, Jenny, is the Aurora platform. It's an open XDR architecture, meaning it integrates with hundreds of different security tools. It gathers data from endpoints, networks, cloud environments, identity systems, everything. All of that data, all those 8 trillion events every week, are fed into this enormous data lake. Alpha AI then uses advanced machine learning models to make sense of it all, identify patterns, and detect anomalies.
So when Cipher provides an answer, it's not just pulling from some generalized internet knowledge. It's analyzing your specific security data in real time and cross-referencing it with its broad understanding of threats and vulnerabilities.
Precisely. And the collaboration with Anthropic is crucial. They're contributing the sophisticated large language models, the Claude AI, to ensure that Cipher doesn't just process data, but understands the subtleties of security language and can explain complex findings clearly and conversationally. It's distilling years of SOC experience into an accessible interface.
That's impressive. But it does raise a question for me. If AI is managing so much, what about the potential for bias or even incorrect information from the AI? I mean, we've seen LLMs hallucinate before, right?
That's a very valid concern, and it's something the industry is quite aware of. The press releases emphasize that Cipher utilizes real-world experience from their society team. This suggests it's not just a generic LLM, but one trained and refined on actual security incidents and verified outcomes. The goal isn't just to generate text, but to provide times accurate and actionable times security insights. They also mention it's currently in beta, which means they're likely gathering feedback and continuously improving its accuracy.
Right. Early stages, but the potential is vast. I'm considering how this shifts the whole approach. Instead of being reactive, constantly pursuing alerts, security teams can now be more proactive and efficient. This sounds like it could noticeably reduce the average time it takes to detect and respond to threats.
Indeed. The mean time to response, or MTTR, is a critical measure in cybersecurity. The quicker you can identify and neutralize a threat, the less harm it can cause. By giving analysts immediate access to highly contextual information, Cipher is designed to shrink that MTTR considerably. It essentially gives every analyst the experience of a 10-year veteran, instantly.
Which is interesting. Because if junior staff can't interpret raw threat data anymore, do we risk creating a generation of analysts reliant on AI assistance?
It's a fair point. Some cybersecurity experts, they do express concerns that over-reliance on these tools could, in a way, dilute the fundamental understanding of how threats work, or how to hunt them manually. Like, if you always have a co-pilot, do you ever truly learn to fly solo in a storm?
That makes sense. It's one thing to ask the AI, what's going on here, and get an answer, but another to understand why times that answer is correct, or to spot something the AI missed because its training data didn't cover that specific, novel attack.
Exactly. It's a balance, isn't it? The best analogy I've heard debated is, a calculator didn't stop mathematicians from doing math, it empowered them to tackle more complex problems. Cipher, in a way, handles the initial grunt work, freeing up human analysts to focus on higher-level strategic thinking, complex problem-solving, and the creative aspects of threat hunting that only a human can truly do.
That's a good analogy. So what's the larger picture here, Mark? Where does something like Cipher lead the cybersecurity industry?
It signals a significant move towards what some are calling AI co-pilots in every industry, but especially in highly data-intensive fields like security. We're transitioning from just automating tasks to augmenting human intelligence. In 5 or 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if every security operations center, regardless of its size, has an AI assistant like Cipher as an indispensable team member.
That's a pretty interesting vision. And it just goes to show how quickly the landscape of technology, and of course cybersecurity, is evolving. So, Arctic Wolf's Cipher, an AI security assistant built on the Aurora platform, powered by Anthropic's Claude AI, processing 8 trillion events a week. That's a lot to consider.
It is, and it's exciting to witness. It points to a future where cybersecurity isn't just about blocking threats, but about intelligent, proactive defense, powered by systems that can handle data at a scale no human ever could. It's certainly changing the field.
And on that thoughtful note, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for joining us as we explored Arctic Wolf's Cipher. We'll catch you next time.
Stay safe out there, and remember to keep learning.